In 1865, just 6 years after Darwin published On the Origin of Species, Cornell University was founded and stood out from the majority of American universities as one of the first launched without religious charter. Critics immediately expressed deep concerns about educating young people in the absence of an explicitly religious foundation. Cornell's first president, Andrew Dickson White, energetically defended the secular character of his institution by arguing not only that religion is non-essential for a quality education, but often an obstacle to it. Religion, he claimed, is often the enemy of intellectual progress and especially scientific progress. White's crusade culminated in the 1896 publication of A History of the Warfare of Science with Theology Within Christendom.
White's treatment of the science and religion conflict was lively, accessible, hyperbolic, frequently irresponsible, and profoundly influential in establishing the warfare metaphor. Thereafter, the warfare metaphor found its way into the larger American cultural imagination. It was taught in college courses. It made its way into encyclopedias. Reporters began to contextualize stories like the famous Scopes trial by referring to the warfare metaphor as if it were historical fact. Within a few decades, anyone who was educated in a major university had absorbed White's thesis to such an extent that it had simply become an assumed fact, a thesis that no longer even needed to be defended. In the past few decades, however, a scholarly community dedicated to studying the engagement of science and religion has emerged, and the warfare metaphor has been further scrutinized. The episodes recounted in White's book, including some of those listed above, have been placed in context by scholars seeking to understand history, rather than seeking to use false narratives to make rhetorical points and win debates. Countless books and essays have been recently published correcting the simplistic treatment in White's book, and the many publications that drew on it. Most broad treatments of science and religion now begin, as did this one, with a critique of the warfare metaphor, and there are few historians today who accept White's thesis as historically accurate. Sadly, the simplistic idea that science and Christianity have forever been at war remains a popularly and uncritically accepted truth.